Recruitment for robotaxi operators in Qatar and Saudi Arabia opens Tesla's first Middle East service push. This is Tesla Shorts Time, episode 578. Tesla is actively recruiting AI safety operators in Doha and Riyadh to prepare for robotaxi operations across the region. The move extends unsupervised ride-hailing plans beyond North America and China into new regulatory environments. Local hiring signals early infrastructure and safety operator groundwork ahead of any vehicle deployment. The effort requires operators who can handle initial supervised runs while local rules for autonomous vehicles take shape. Qatar and Saudi Arabia represent markets with growing interest in advanced mobility and large-scale infrastructure projects. While autonomy efforts push outward, one of Tesla's longest-running vehicle lines has just come to a close. Final assembly of the Model S concluded in early May with a 250-unit Plaid Signature Edition run. The last car went to venture capitalist Steve Jurvetson, who received VIN 001 in 2012. Fremont has since dismantled the dedicated line in 46 days to free space for Optimus manufacturing. The closure marks the end of a vehicle that introduced over-the-air updates and the Supercharger network to the industry. Production space now shifts toward humanoid robot assembly. With that chapter closed, attention turns to the vehicle meant to replace traditional ownership models altogether. Tesla is running a contest for attendees to the upcoming Cybercab launch event while holding the exact date. The approach builds anticipation without committing to a firm public timeline. It shows continued focus on Austin as the initial deployment location. The contest draws attention to the vehicle's steering wheel-free design and sensor layout. Local infrastructure preparations continue alongside the event planning. As Tesla prepares the next vehicle platform, legacy automakers are copying its energy playbook. General Motors is entering stationary energy storage through a partnership with Peak, mirroring Tesla's Megapack and Powerwall approach. The move brings another legacy automaker into grid-scale and residential battery markets. It increases competition for Tesla Energy while validating the broader shift toward vehicle makers selling power products. The partnership focuses on utility and commercial installations where demand for stored electricity continues to rise. Tesla's established position in this segment now faces additional entrants with automotive supply chain experience. A former Tesla executive is developing a 40 gigawatts inverter manufacturing plant in the United States. The project responds to tightening import rules on power electronics and aims to supply utility-scale solar and storage projects. It adds domestic capacity for components that pair directly with Megapack deployments. Inverters convert DC power from batteries and solar arrays into grid-compatible AC, making them essential for large installations. The new facility targets projects that would otherwise rely on overseas supply chains facing new tariffs. Component supply is becoming the quiet constraint on that same storage growth. Inverter manufacturing capacity has become a quiet bottleneck for utility-scale energy storage. Tesla's Megapack growth depends on reliable supply of these power electronics, yet most global production remains concentrated overseas. A former Tesla executive's plan for a 40 gigawatts domestic plant shows one path to easing that constraint through localized supply. The project responds directly to policy changes that raise the cost of imported components. Without sufficient inverter output, even large battery orders face delays in final commissioning. The economics differ from battery cell production because inverters require fewer exotic materials but face strict certification and grid compliance rules that slow new entrants. Domestic output could shorten lead times for large projects and reduce exposure to tariff swings. Yet it also demands steady order volume to justify the capital outlay. On the robotics front, Chinese firm Unitree is selling humanoid robots commercially, while Tesla's Optimus remains in development. The contrast underscores differing timelines between Western and Chinese robotics programs. It raises questions about how quickly Tesla can move from prototype to volume production and external sales. Unitree's current models target research and light industrial tasks. Tesla's approach continues to emphasize internal deployment before broader availability. On the energy side, some Powerwall owners are already looking past Tesla's own software. Some Powerwall users are adopting third-party software to gain more granular control over charge and discharge cycles. The shift highlights limits in Tesla's native app for optimizing self-consumption or grid service participation. It shows demand for advanced energy management tools that could affect long-term attachment rates. Owners report wanting more precise scheduling and integration with local utility programs. The trend points to an emerging market for aftermarket solutions that complement Tesla hardware. Meanwhile, the charging experience itself is facing new competition. The network dropped out of the top 3 in the latest U.S. fast charging satisfaction survey. The decline reflects growing competition from other networks that have improved reliability and site amenities. Tesla will need to address both hardware uptime and driver experience to regain its earlier lead. Newer entrants have invested in covered stalls, better lighting, and faster payment systems that customers now compare directly. The ranking shift comes as open access policies bring more non-Tesla vehicles to the network. Tesla is also experimenting with turning some of those sites into longer-stay destinations. Tesla is developing diner locations that combine high-speed charging with food service and outdoor movie screens. The concept turns supercharger sites into multi-hour destinations rather than quick stops. It extends the charging network's role into hospitality and entertainment revenue. Drivers could spend extended time at these sites while vehicles charge, creating new usage patterns. The approach builds on existing supercharger infrastructure to add amenities that encourage longer visits. Inside the car, a different kind of upgrade has already arrived. Tesla rolled out a real-time conversational AI model accessible through vehicle infotainment systems. The feature enables natural language interaction for navigation, media, and vehicle controls without menu navigation. It represents an incremental step in voice and AI integration ahead of broader unsupervised driving capabilities. Drivers can issue commands in ordinary speech rather than structured phrases. The update builds on existing voice systems to improve responsiveness during daily use. That brings us to the latest market reaction and what investors are watching. Shares recovered above $350 on news of Austin Cybercab preparations and stronger China delivery figures. The move shows investors weighing robotaxi progress against traditional vehicle demand. It ties near-term sentiment to both autonomy timelines and regional sales performance. Before we go, Austin infrastructure work may give the first hints on Cybercab rollout speed. That's your Tesla news for today. TSLA closed at $351.12, up $14.25, 4.2%. If you found this useful, a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify really helps new listeners find the show. You can also find us on X at Tesla Shorts Time. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow. And before you go, this show is part of the NERA Network, a family of daily podcasts on tech, science, and markets. Each one a short, sharp briefing you can finish on the commute. If today earned its place in your feed, here's your next listen. OmniView, a balanced daily world news briefing that takes every side seriously. Find every show free at neranetwork.com. The age of AI puts real builders on the phone with an AI host. Apply at neranetwork.com, Age of AI apply. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.